Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This side Priya Bhatia, and in this specific video, we will be discussing about another amazing topic with respect to DSA part per se. Another very interesting and important question asked by so many students, so many learners as a beginner specifically. And the question is that Priya, what is the best programming language which we choose to implement DSA stuff, right? We have a different data structures, we have a different algorithms. And let's say we are going for an interviews and it can be of companies like Google, Microsoft, or Amazon, or it can be companies like startups. Be it any specific genre. If let's say we are practicing our questions and giving a mock interviews. So which specific programming language we should choose in a way that we will be able to have a maximum chances to get selected in an interview. So today I will try to share my own personal experiences. Again, all these are the thoughts which I have gathered from my past experience of teaching and learning and giving interviews also and taking interviews also. So from the past 4 years, I'm genuinely have spent a lot of time in terms of teaching, in terms of taking the interviews, in terms of giving the interviews to the companies and tracking that. So I will try to share my own personal experiences. And if you will ask me, to be very frank, I will definitely opt for Python programming in 2024. So today in this specific video, I will share my reasons behind that. And then maybe it's your take, it's your decision. I always say that DSA is independent of any programming language. You can pick any one of them and you can start learning with respect to that part, doing the implementation with respect to that part, because loops are loops. It's just that the syntax will be different, logic will remain the same, thinking process will remain the same, complexity will remain the same. It's just that how you're doing an implementation of the same logic, you can do it via Python, C, C++, doesn't impact much. But where the difference lies and why I'm saying that for me, I personally believe Python is the most preferable language. And if you are someone who have not started your journey till so far, and you are just thinking that which specific programming language I should start with, I will definitely say that go for Python programming. So here are the reasons which I want to discuss. So let's get started. So whenever you're going for an interviews, right? Usually you will observe that maximum companies has a pattern. For example, if you will talk about Google specific company, they will have a 45 minutes DSA round usually, right? And it is not extended to 5 minutes or 10 minutes also. It will be strictly 45 minutes where maybe 30, 35, 40 minutes there will be a talk, and in the last specific minutes they will ask you the questions if you have, and they will talk about their own stuffs as well. So what I'm trying to convey is that whenever we are giving interviews, time constraint is also something which we always have to consider, and many people usually forget that part. So why I'm saying that Python is the one which I usually opted for, and whenever I have given the interviews to these kind of companies, I have always have tried to talk in terms of Python programming implementation. And to be very frank, no one told me that why you are conducting or why you are solving the questions with respect to Python programming. People respect that, and whatever programming language you're comfortable with, you should clearly tell to them, right? Now the very first reason is the concise and expressive syntax, which I really like about Python programming. uh, if you have observed, in the Python programming, it's not that we have to write a lot in number of lines of code. It's very to the point, crisp, and expressions are very, very easy. If let's say there is someone who is from known programming background, for him or her also, uh, to get the understanding of this specific programming language and to get a uh, implementation done with respect to this programming language is so easy, right? Second thing is rich standard libraries. For example, I hope you all are aware that we have the packages like NumPy to do any kind of a mathematical calculations in terms of 2D list, 3D list, and so on. We have something called as Pandas framework. We have something called as Seaborn or Matplotlib framework to do the visualizations. So specifically those people who are really interested in the domain of data analytics, in the domain of data science, right? For them to I always prefer that, you know, you should always go for this specific Python programming, because it's like you are learning with respect to DSA also, and with respect to your own use cases also, which will really helpful in terms of doing the project's implementation. Third interesting thing about this programming language is dynamic typing. We don't need to specify, for example, if let's say I am specifying a is equals to, let's say, 10. So I don't need to specify that a is an integer type. Automatically, when we are trying to do a initialization of any variable, my programming language will automatically understand at a runtime that, okay, this is the type, data type of this specific variable. And this is really interesting thing, which we don't have in other programming languages for now. Fourth important and interesting thing is even apart from dynamic typing, we have here, I would like to mention dynamic list concept also, right? I hope you all are aware. So usually what happens, we have static list and dynamic list. So in Python, by default, it is always dynamic list. Means we don't need to define the size of the array that we are using prior. It's like internally, automatically, it will keep on extending. I'm not going deep dive into it. How will this happen? Maybe I'll try to create a separate video for the same. But again, it's a very interesting feature. If you want to go and explore about this, definitely you will love this. Fourth interesting thing is the ease of learning and adapting. As I already mentioned, that if there is someone who is from non-programming background, and if you are someone who is a beginner and wants to start your journey of DSA, I will always suggest to focus on the fundamentals, focus on learning the concepts pretty well. In terms of implementation, it's very, very easy for you if you will go for Python programming. It's kind of an English language, I would say. Bit of syntax is there, but it's very, very less as comparable to other programming languages. So you will be easily able to adapt that. That's the beauty about this programming language. And the last interesting thing which I definitely like about this is it's a functional programming features this programming language contains. For example, we have functions like map, filter, reduce, and directly we can use them to do our task. So again, it's a very interesting topic. Maybe for today's session, the task is to explore more about what is dynamic listing and how by default it is going to take internally in the Python programming. And the second interesting task which you can do after learning from this video is to do your research with respect to functional programming. What is the meaning of that? Maybe I'm not sure how many of you are clearly aware about these two concepts in Python, but if you are not, please try and do your research and explore yourself. Definitely I will try to cover up these interesting concepts in the upcoming videos as well. But I hope that now it would be pretty much clear. Again, it's all about the thoughts which I usually feel, specifically the time constraint, because it's a dynamic typing, it's a very concise and expressive syntax. So the time required to implement any code is quite lesser as comparable to other programming languages, even though the logic is same. Even though, let's say, you're using a heap specific data structure to implement the stuffs, but in Python, we already have a package like heap pq. So what you will do is you directly import this and use this. We have predefined functions. And as I always say that, it's not that people will say that you can't use these functions, you can't use these packages. They have definitely make this specific packages to use that, right? So what I'm trying to convey is, if let's say they are saying you have to build a heap from scratch, that's a different scenario altogether. But let's say they're talking about kth closest points to origin, for which you know that maybe min heap is the basic fundamental idea, and that is a more optimized approach. So directly you can use that package and implement them, because their focus is not on how you are, doing an implementation from scratch or by using the import heap pq package. Their focus is that within that duration, whether you will be able to give them a correct output in terms of optimized results or not, in terms of having a lower time and space complexity or not. That's the whole sole idea. So I hope that this video is really helpful for all those people who were facing a doubts about this specific programming language part. Again, I am saying, independent of any programming language, this subject of DSA, but still you have to take one option, right, out of all the given options, and you have to choose it very smartly, that okay, I have to implement it, I know all the concepts, but within that duration which specific programming language suits me the best, choose accordingly. I usually choose Python. I have given the reasons behind that. If you are someone who is having a similar mindset, please go for it. I think you will thank me later. With this, bye bye everyone, and I'll see you all very soon in the upcoming videos.